Keep your focus here. Here's question 1. Quick check. ETL Optimize Inc. has an AWS Glue ETL job that runs daily, processing XML data from an S3 bucket. New data is added to the S3 bucket daily. A solutions architect notices Glue reprocesses all data, including old data, during each run. How can the architect prevent AWS Glue from reprocessing old data? Select one answer. Review the answer choices on screen. The correct answer is option B. Glue already tracks this. Here's the built-in AWS Glue job. Bookmarks track data that has already been processed during previous runs of an ETL job. When job bookmarks are enabled, AWS Glue processes only new data when the job runs again, preventing the reprocessing of old data. This is the most straightforward and built-in way to achieve incremental processing with Glue ETL jobs for S3 data sources. Hey guys, it's Stack Lessons. Another practice run for you? 10 questions covering Glue incremental processing, S3 cost optimization, and FSX for Windows. 6 seconds per question to lock in your answer. Pause whenever you need a longer think. Have fun with it. Keep a running tally. We compare scores in the comments afterwards. All right, question 2. Watch for must, most, least, or except. Image Processing Co. runs a highly available application on EC2 instances in a single VPC across multiple availability zones. These instances and private subnets download and upload images to Amazon S3 via a single NAT gateway. The company is concerned about data transfer charges associated with the NAT gateway. What is the most cost-effective method to avoid regional data transfer charges for S3 access? Select one answer. Review the answer choices on screen. The correct answer is option D. One word eliminates 3 distractors. Free. A gateway VPC endpoint for Amazon S3 allows EC2 instances and private subnets to access S3 without traffic traversing a NAT gateway or the internet. Traffic to S3 through a gateway endpoint stays within the AWS network and does not incur NAT gateway processing charges or data transfer charges as if it were going over the internet. This is the most cost-effective way to privately access S3 from within a VPC. Okay, question 3. Watch the exact wording. VPC Log Archive security team requires network traffic to be captured in VPC flow logs. These logs will be accessed frequently for 90 days, then intermittently. How should a solutions architect configure the log storage to meet these requirements cost-effectively? Select one answer. Review the answer choices on screen. The correct answer is option D. Option B looks close. Here's where it loses. VPC flow logs can be published to Amazon S3 for cost-effective long-term storage with varying access needs. 1. Store initially in S3 standard, implied if no other class is set, or use S3 intelligent tiering for automatic tiering. 2. After 90 days of frequent access, transition to S3 standard infrequent access, S3 standard IA, for lower storage costs while still allowing relatively quick access. For even older or very infrequently accessed data, a further transition to S3 Glacier, flexible retrieval, or deep archive could be configured for maximum cost savings. Okay, question 4. Look for the constraint that matters. Windshare Corp runs multiple Windows workloads on AWS. Their employees utilize Windows file shares hosted on 2 EC2 instances that synchronize data between themselves, maintaining duplicate copies. They are seeking a highly available and durable storage solution that preserves existing file access patterns for users. What should a solutions architect do? Select one answer. Review the answer choices on screen. The correct answer is option C. One managed service replaces both EC2 file servers. Amazon FSx for Windows File Server provides fully managed, highly reliable, and scalable file storage that is accessible over the SMB protocol. A multi-AZ deployment ensures high availability and durability across different availability zones. This solution directly replaces on-premises Windows file servers while preserving how users access files via SMB and integrating with Active Directory for permissions. Here we go, question 5. Watch the exact wording. Log Archive Solution stores application log files, each around 5 MB in Amazon S3. Policy requires 4-year retention. Immediate accessibility is crucial, as these files contain vital, non-reproducible business data. Files are accessed frequently for the first 30 days, then rarely. What is the most cost-effective storage strategy? Select one answer. Review the answer choices on screen. The correct answer is option A. The 5 MB size and 30-day window are both clues. S3 standard is optimal for frequently accessed data, first 30 days. S3 standard infrequent access, S3 standard IA, offers lower storage costs for data accessed less frequently but still needing immediate retrieval. A lifecycle policy to transition to S3 standard IA after 30 days and delete after 4 years balances cost effectiveness with the accessibility and retention requirements. Job bookmarks, gateway endpoints, and S3 lifecycle policies. Every correct answer so far reaches for the AWS built-in over custom code. Next up, question 6. Pay attention to what is really asked. SecureDB Corp is developing a 2-tier web application on AWS. The application, deployed on an EC2 instance, connects directly to a back-end Amazon RDS database. They must avoid hard-coding database credentials in the application and need a solution for automatic, regular credential rotation. Which approach offers the least operational overhead? Select one answer. Review the answer choices on screen. The correct answer is option C. Secrets Manager owns RDS rotation end-to-end. AWS Secrets Manager is specifically designed for managing secrets like database credentials. It integrates natively with Amazon RDS for automatic credential rotation, which significantly reduces operational overhead. The application on the EC2 instance can retrieve these credentials at runtime by using its IAM role, avoiding hard-coded credentials. Next up, question 7. Keep the constraints in view. WinApp FileShare is migrating a Windows-based application to AWS. This application critically relies on a shared Windows file system that needs to be attached to multiple Amazon EC2 Windows instances. These instances will be deployed across several availability zones for high availability. What AWS storage solution should a solutions architect recommend to meet this specific requirement for shared Windows file storage? Select one answer. Review the answer choices on screen. The correct answer is option B. SMB native means FSx. EFS needs workarounds. Amazon FSx for Windows File Server provides fully managed, highly reliable, and scalable file storage that is natively accessible via the Server Message Block SMB protocol, which is standard for Windows environments. It is designed specifically for Windows-based applications and workloads. An FSx for Windows File Server file system can be deployed across multiple availability zones for high availability, and multiple EC2 Windows instances can currently mount and share this file system as a standard network drive, fulfilling all the stated requirements. Now, question 8. The obvious answer may be bait. Session Manager Logs Co. wants to ensure that all logs generated by AWS Systems Manager Session Manager interactions with their EC2 instances are sent to a central Amazon S3 bucket for long-term archival and auditing purposes. Which configuration will achieve this with the most operational efficiency and reliability? Select one answer. Review the answer choices on screen. The correct answer is option C. The native SM setting most candidates never find. AWS Systems Manager Session Manager has a built-in feature that allows you to configure logging of session data directly to an Amazon S3 bucket and optionally to Amazon CloudWatch logs. This can be enabled through the Systems Manager console preferences or via the AWS CLI SDK. By enabling S3 logging for Session Manager, all session output, including commands and responses, is automatically captured and delivered to the specified S3 bucket. This is a fully managed feature, providing the most operationally efficient and reliable way to archive Session Manager logs without requiring custom scripts or agents for log collection and delivery. Let's slow down here. The right Session Manager logging path is worth knowing cold. Imagine your security team asks, "Show me every command typed on our EC2 instances last Tuesday." You need session logs. The trap is reaching for CloudWatch or a custom script. Extra hops, extra work. Session Manager has a built-in switch. Flip it on, point it at an S3 bucket, done. One config change covers every session across every instance. No agents to install, no scripts to babysit. Option B chains 3 services together when one native setting does the job. CloudTrail logs API calls, not what someone typed. When AWS builds logging directly into a service, that's your answer. Native wins. Now, question 9. Reason from the scenario. Quote Processing Flow, Inc. is using AWS to design a web application that processes insurance quotes. Users submit requests for quotes. These requests must be segregated by the type of quote, e.g. auto, home, life. Each quote request must be responded to within a 24-hour window, and it is critical that no requests are lost. The desired solution must maximize operational efficiency and minimize ongoing maintenance. Which architectural design best meets these diverse criteria? Select one answer. Review the answer choices on screen. The correct answer is option D. 3 hard requirements, 1 architecture solve all. Using separate Amazon SQS FIVO queues for each quote type ensures that requests for different insurance types can be processed independently and, importantly, in the order they were received for that specific type, if order is critical within a type. AWS Lambda functions provide a serverless, highly scalable, and operationally efficient mechanism to process these queued requests. SQS dead letter queues are essential for capturing any messages that fail processing after a configurable number of retries, preventing data loss and allowing for later investigation and manual reprocessing if needed. This architecture is robust, scalable, minimizes maintenance, and handles segregation and reliability requirements effectively. Let's look closer. The trap is in how each option handles the quote type sorting. Imagine an insurance office where auto, home, and life quote requests all land in one inbox. Someone has to sort them before processing. That's option B. With one SQS queue, EC2 workers read every message and route it by type. Extra logic to write, test, and maintain. Now picture 5,000 requests arriving Monday morning plus EC2 servers to patch. Option D flips this. 1 queue per type. Lambda fires automatically when a message arrives. FIFO queues ensure each request is processed exactly once. If Lambda fails on a request, the dead letter queue catches it. Nothing is lost. No routing code, no servers, nothing lost. That's why D wins. Now, question 10. Find what the distractors miss. Pixel Perfect Inc. is developing a microservice for image optimization. The workflow involves users uploading large images, which are first stored in an S3 uploads bucket. An AWS Lambda function then needs to be triggered to resize and compress these images, subsequently saving the results to a separate processed images S3 bucket. The architect must propose a design using durable, stateless components for automatic image processing. Which two steps are essential for this solution? Select 2. Review the answer choices on screen. The correct answers are option A and option B. Stateless is the keyword. Option C violates it. To create a durable and stateless image processing pipeline, decoupling the image upload from the processing via an SQS queue is a robust pattern. ACE3 event notifications to SQS ensure that every upload is captured as a message, providing durability. If the Lambda function fails or is throttled, the message remains in the queue for later processing. Configuring the Lambda function to be triggered by messages in the SQS queue allows for asynchronous and resilient processing. Successfully processing a message and then deleting it ensures each image is handled reliably, supporting retries and fault tolerance. Let's slow down here. The SQS buffer step is what makes this pipeline actually reliable. Imagine you run a photo sharing app and 10,000 users upload images at the same moment. If Lambda processed each upload directly, a spike in traffic could overwhelm it and lose requests. The SQS queue is your safety net. It catches every upload event from S3. Even if Lambda is busy or crashes, the message stays in the queue and waits. Once Lambda is ready, it picks up the message, resizes the image, writes the result to the process bucket, then deletes the message. That delete step is key. It's the only way SQS knows the job is done. No delete means SQS retries. That's why options A and B win. They build durability into every step of the pipeline. 3 takeaways from this session. First, S3 gateway endpoints eliminate NAT gateway charges for VPC to S3 traffic at 0 cost. Second, FSX for Windows File Server is the only AWS native SMB solution with true multi-AZ availability. Third, SQS FIFO queues paired with dead letter queues guarantee ordered, lossless processing for critical workloads. If you caught the FSX repeat, you're already thinking like the exam. Reach for the managed native service, tier your storage lifecycle, and let queues catch what falls through. That's the pattern this exam rewards. Quick favor before you go. Subscribing is the free way to support this and to reach more people on the same path. Drop your score in the comments and any question you'd want more detail on. Want a specific certification next? Name it below. And if the speed or look of these could be better, I'm listening.